Boxing truth here. Joshua Klitschko. The sound of that got boxing truth, shadow boxing. It's been quite a fight week. It's been intense. Everyone's really pumped up for this fight. Everyone's looking forward to this groundbreaking event. 90,000 fans at Wembley Stadium. Truly one of the bigger fights in boxing. Definitely the biggest fight this year. Only the third fight in history that HBO and Showtime have decided to simultaneously at least have crews go over there and cover the fight. Just different time slots for when each network will showcase the fight. And this is just a prediction video. I haven't had a chance really to talk about this fight. Just haven't had the time, but I'm definitely tuned in. I'm definitely looking forward to this showdown to see if Anthony Joshua is the new one, the new great champion, the new face of the heavyweight division, or is Klitschko simply too seasoned, too experienced, and he's going to be vindicated by getting a portion of the titles back after losing them to Tyson Fury. And this has been a very hard fight to predict. You really don't know what's gonna happen. This is heavyweight boxing. There's nothing like heavyweight boxing. It's nothing like two big guys throwing down on each other. It's just something different, something out of this world when it comes to the heavyweight division. Heavyweight division is very unpredictable. It's just different than every other division in boxing. You don't necessarily need skills and talent. You just need a really big punch, a lot of heart, determination, the belief to win and the will to win when it comes to heavyweight division. Power can trump skills in the heavyweight division. And as the fight was getting closer, I was going back and forth. Before the fight was announced, I was leaning towards Joshua. A lot of people were very confident in Joshua. Eddie Hearn was definitely confident in Anthony Joshua getting the victory prior to signing the fight. But as the fight has gotten closer, you just can't ignore the build-up, the guys' behaviors, the two fighters' behaviors going into this fight. You can't ignore the supreme confidence Klitschko is showing in the build-up to this fight. On the gloves are off, the press conferences. It just seems like Klitschko is in total control. He's comfortable in his own skin. He's oozing with confidence. He's sunning Joshua in the behind the gloves and in the press conferences, pretty much showing and giving the indication that he's the boss, he's the man, he's the life of the party. And it's really telling when you see the guys together and you see how Klitschko he's the man, he's the boss, and Joshua's, it's like he's comfortable with being sunned by Klitschko, or he's just showing too much respect, showing too much obedience to Wladimir. Seems intimidated, seems very nervous. Not getting into the psyche of Klitschko, not trying to play this psychological warfare that can get the better of Klitschko. It's a complete contrast of behavior that Klitschko is displaying when it comes to Joshua. He's totally comfortable with Joshua. He was very uncomfortable with Tyson Fury. You just see the difference in the build-ups between both of those fights, especially the rematch that was canceled twice. But in the build-ups to that fight, Klitschko was very uncomfortable, was not confident. It was just his competitive edge that got him to take the rematch, to go through with it, because he wanted to get back his titles. But he definitely was not very confident or very comfortable in fighting Tyson Fury again. Now, when it comes to the breakdown of this fight, Joshua's a very good fighter, talented. He definitely has a lot of physical talent. It takes more than physical talent in the heavyweight division, though. And we just don't know how good Joshua is. I mean, he looks good against those heavy bags he's been steamrolling. Guys that stand in front of him, fly forward, provide not much defense. He's looked good against those guys. We just don't really know. We need the answers on April 29th, and I'm sure we're going to get some answers about Anthony Joshua on April 29th. He's got the youth. He's the much fresher guy. He's the more stylish guy. He looks better, especially on the pads. Looks a lot better. He looks faster, more fluid. He throws more combinations. He throws more punches. But he's untested. He's still developing. And there's a chance that Anthony Joshua can be manufactured. His Olympic gold medal run was manufactured. We all know Anthony Joshua was gifted that gold medal. So what's not to say that his pro run has been manufactured? He's been at the right place at the right time. He's been a cash cow for Matchroom and a money fight for a lot of heavyweights out there, which is why he was called out by Charles Martin after he won the IBF strap, and now it's in the possession of Anthony Joshua. But this is the first real test of his career. He is still favored by the bookies, almost a clear favorite. But you just have to wonder, is he seasoned enough? Is he experienced enough? Does he have the gas tank? How's exactly is he gonna beat Klitschko? Because it's gonna be totally different how he beats Klitschko compared to Tyson Fury. Anthony Joshua's not gonna play a game of tag with Klitschko. He's gonna go in there and try to put a hurt on him. He's gonna go in there and try to make a statement. He's gonna go in there and try to land some devastating punches, combinations. So it's gonna be a whole different type of style that's being presented to Klitschko in front of him. Joshua's going to be fighting a whole different type of way. He's going to try to get Klitschko out of there. He's going to try to knock him out. That's the only logical way I see Joshua winning, since he's very inexperienced. He only has 18 fights, hasn't been taken to the deep waters in his career. The most rounds he went as a professional has been 7 rounds. And there's just a lot of question marks about Anthony Joshua. I can't go by him knocking out a bunch of heavy bags and get into position that he's been in by fighting the Charles Martins, Dominic Brazils, and Eric Molinas of the world. Klitschko's a whole different animal, even at age 41, in about 18 months out of the ring. But the overall consensus is that majority will think Joshua will win. I just saw the Ring Magazine tally there was 30 people that picked 29 people that picked Joshua out of 30 correspondents. So Joshua is definitely the clear favorite. He's on his home soil. It's on, he's the A side. He's the guy people are hyping about. But I just don't know. I'm not sure if he's the next great new one. He needs to show me. He has to show me that he can beat Klitschko. I can't ignore Klitschko's confidence, his body language, how he's treating Joshua in the build-up to this fight. It's been cordial. It's been nothing but respect. A little too much respect from Joshua's side. I just feel Joshua's game plan I wonder what his game plan is. It just seems like he's gonna go in there and try to do a job on Klitschko, try to overpower him, use his youth, throw punches, which is good advice. He should definitely throw a lot of punches in this fight if he can. But this is Wladimir Klitschko. He's been through it all. He doesn't get enough credit, and it's simply because of his style. The way he fought, a lot of shitty fights, a lot of clinching and holding. But he's really been through it all as a fighter. He went through devastating defeats. He's been knocked out. He's been dropped and gotten up to win fights. He's bounced back after knockout losses. And he never looked back after that Sam Peter fight. Went on a dominant run, and he's fought the guys that he needed to fight. He's fought everybody that he needed to beat. The Shagayevs, the David Hayes, the Sam Peters, the Chris Birds, the Bryant Jennings. He's even willing to take on the the young challenges, willing to fight the young lions. So Klitschko doesn't get not enough credit for what he's done, how he's persevered, how he's bounced back from devastating defeats to become a dominant champion and willing to take on all comers, willing to fight the young lions. And now he's fighting another young lion. But this lion ain't quite ready yet. Not seasoned enough. It's going to be interesting to see how Klitschko approaches this fight. Is he going to use his range, his distance, or he's going to try to back Joshua up? He's going to try to make a statement early. I'm not expecting no Holyfield Bo 1 or Abayabuchi David Tua type fight, but it's going to be an intense chess match, especially early. It's going to be a battle of nerves. It's going to be a battle of minds. Who's got the stronger mental toughness? Joshua just didn't do anything to Vladimir's psyche before the fight. He didn't get into his head. He didn't play any mind games. So beating down Wladimir is going to be a little harder when it comes to the physical part, since he was just too respectful to the build-up to the fight. It could be a mistake. Joshua could have an edge early because of his youth, his freshness, and his combinations. But is he going to be his usual self in this fight, or is he going to be more cautious, more careful? Wladimir makes you fight at his pace, since he's a very cautious fighter. He's also not very easy to hit. Even Tyson Fury had a pretty mediocre offensive night against him. Even though he outpointed him, he didn't exactly have the best offensive night. Joshua could have an edge early. He might get off to a good start. But logically, I think that's the only way he could win. He has to get Klitschko out of there within the first 4 or 5 rounds. He has to land something damaging in the beginning of the fight. He's got to set the pace. He's got to push the old man. But Joshua, he's a good puncher. He's got good power. But he's not a one-punch knockout fighter. Most of his knockouts have been accumulation of punches, combinations, and wear his opponents down. So I don't see Joshua knocking out Klitschko with one shot. It will be an accumulation of punches. But I see Klitschko weathering the storm in the first half of the fight. He'll get through some rocky moments early. He'll start to make Joshua doubt his conditioning, his gas tank, as Wladimir will still be standing there after those moments Joshua had in the beginning. Klitschko will make the fight go into the second half, and that's where he takes over. Joshua's going to be taken to the deep waters. He's not going to be able to swim with the sharks. Klitschko just looks like, especially by the weigh-in, he looks like he's in better shape. I believe he's the bigger puncher. I believe he's the stronger fighter. I believe he's the more fitter fighter, in better condition, better gas tank, more battle-tested, more mentally stronger. And he's going to pull it off. Wladimir Klitschko will son Anthony Joshua. And it won't be the end of Joshua. It's the heavyweight division. Klitschko had his share of upset defeats. He bounced back. Joshua can do the same thing. But Joshua, I don't believe, is the new face of boxing. I don't believe he's the new great one. He's going to have to show me. He's going to have to prove me wrong. But AJ's about to get chinned on April 29th. Klitschko's going to take advantage of this paper chin hype job, who was only looking to steamroll Wladimir Klitschko. It's going to take more than brute strength to beat Wladimir. You got to be strategic. You got to play that mental warfare. You got to play the mind games of Wladimir. You got to make him doubt mentally. So therefore, the physical part of beating him will be a lot easier. But Joshua's just been too damn respectful. And Klitschko is going to have one great fight left in him, as he will wear down Joshua to a late round stoppage in the 10th round. But it's okay, Anthony Joshua, because when you lose, Klitschko will be there to get you back. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.